What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and this is One2FlowOn. And the topic today is who got snubbed? Now, if you don't know, I do a podcast. It's called Hip Hop Now Podcast. It's available on everything from iTunes to Stitcher Radio, Google Play, all of that. You can go to SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast. But the reason why I bring that up is because every year I do a pre-Grammys little prediction with the nominations, right? And I kind of hit the nail on the head this year. If you know, again, I don't really watch the Grammys because, honestly, I don't watch any award shows, but to dedicate that amount of time to watching a whole bunch of filler and trending chasing segments, it's just kind of a waste of time. I'd rather watch the Royal Rumble or catch up on some of my shows. But that's beyond the point. I do check out the results. I also check out highlights that I care about because honestly, in that way, I can get to the things I actually am interested in with the Grammys. Now, that being said, a lot of people online is looking like, yo, JayZ, he ain't win. Not one, got snubbed. Yo, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Illuminati. Well, hold up. Y'all said before JayZ was a part of Illuminati. Also, let's not act like JayZ has never received a Grammy. He has about 21 of them joints, right? But that's even besides the point. The thing is, and let me bring up the other arguments just for the sake, because I'm about to explain all of this. But you got people online on social media who are saying, well, anytime somebody speaks about empowerment, this happens. This dude has obviously never heard a Kendrick Lamar album in his life. Because Kendrick Lamar cleaned up the rap category. But if you want to talk about conscious records, what did JayZ say on this new album that was so crazy conscious? Well, the thing is, and this is the thing, before you get it twisted, right? I'm a longtime JayZ fan. I really loved the last album, 444. But I loved it for a different reason. I loved the album because finally, as a JayZ fan, JayZ gave us an album where it was just all personal insight to his life, his thoughts, his past, his future, his wife, his family. JayZ has never really been that open for an entire album. It's never happened. And I think a lot of people were excited for that part and excited for the fact that the production was traditional hip hop as far as the sound. He didn't try to go do a trap record. He didn't try to go and get the youngest, most known rapper to try to get some rub off of him. He just did an album. And I applaud him for that. But in the categories that JayZ appeared, he just didn't have the better album. He didn't have the better singles. He didn't have the better videos. He had some good videos. He had some good songs. But they just wasn't better than the competition, man. That's how it works. That's just how it works. His album wasn't better than Damn. Damn and 444 aren't mind-blowing albums, right? They just aren't. But they're really good. Especially if you're already a fan. They're really good. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a fan, you won't like them anyway. So none of it matters. Bruno Mars. I don't own a bunch of Bruno Mars albums. But the thing is them singles I heard, I was like, yo, I like this song. I like this record. Yo. And after watching him on the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, that dude is entertaining. This ain't he's just pop friendly and they gave it to him because he's pop. Yo, his song is everywhere. His song, for example, right? Kendrick's Loyalty, DNA, Bruno Mars' records, 24K Magic, and the other joint, I can't remember. That's How I Like It, something like that. These records are still in heavy rotation. It's not a scheme. It's not a political, let's give it to them. They are because they're dope and people like them. And they like them enough to hear them for months on end. Whereas with JayZ, his songs were dope, but they were moments, and they were so personal. They aren't records you really rock out to. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm fine with, because for the first time in a long time, JayZ made an album where it wasn't about just making singles. You know what I'm saying? They became singles, but it wasn't about making singles. It was personal tales. And I think the difference between something like a Loyalty and 24K Magic, those are songs that are universally accepted. You know what I'm saying? Because some people listen to it because they want to jam in their car, in their headphones, in the gym, at a party, just because, whatever. Whereas JayZ records are more so thought-provoking, which isn't a bad thing, but less entertainment. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at the grand scheme of things, especially in the rap category, JayZ was just up against some serious odds with Kendrick being in there, and Kendrick having an album that can not only serve as a conscious piece on certain records, but also had an entertainment value where it was just hard to beat. And let's not even talk about the videos. Like Story of OJ, I thought that was a dope video for that song. But when you look at Kendrick's videos, regardless if you don't know what's going on or not, I mean, you can look it up. They explain everything all the time. I like to discover certain things, but he wasn't competing with those Kendrick videos, or that one in particular for DNA. Was it DNA? Humble, that joint. I keep saying DNA. So I don't know, man. Look, from a longtime JayZ fan who owns every single JayZ album, including the ones I don't like, to a man who was a little on Kendrick before Section 80, but then became a huge fan and feel like he hasn't put out a dud yet as far as albums go. I don't see the problem here. I don't see the problem whatsoever. I think you people like to chase trends and, want to be heard. I know you either are in school or have to go to work. Take your ass to work. Take your ass to school. Get offline. Stop trying to be a social media activist, a social media know-it-all. You don't. You have what you like, and that is fine. But there's no justice in Grammys, regardless, whether Kendrick was getting snubbed or JayZ was getting snubbed. It's all subjective. It's all music. We all love it for various reasons. If JayZ was your album of the year, so be it. That's going to do it for me. You can follow me on social media, that being Twitter and Instagram, Vegas World INC, or if Facebook is what you do, facebook.com/hiphop. Right now, hit that like button. And please know, the link is in the description. But this One2Flow On podcast is an extension of the very popular podcast. I'm just saying that. But it very popular podcast, which is in the description below. Hip Hop Now Podcast on SoundCloud.com/Hip Hop Now Podcast. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm a fan. Peace.